Let's see the quick demo of Aspire CLI. So here I just created an application Aspire using that Aspire CLI, and it is a flexibility, give that many flexibility provide over here. So we can see over here that project got running up and running over here, and which have that allow to admin of that Postgres. So if you go to over here that admin page, so I'm able to see that Postgres admin page over here, and we can manipulate, we can create anything over here. And also it's running for this web application and front end application as well in Aspire, so which help to create, which is actually created by that Aspire CLI. So let's moving to start to implementation. So before we start to mobility implementation, I'm especially recommend if you first time visit my channel, so go to my channel, which is .NET Real World Example. And here one of the .NET Aspire series is going on, which is I just created for all that kind of application we have to integrate in Aspire, like React, Blazor, Web API, backend from Web API, and also integrate front end Angular, and also we have integrated that function, Azure functions, and also view applications. So almost all that application actually I just integrate in our Aspire, so you can go through that those are series. So yeah, first of all what you need to do, let me close everything, and yeah, just close from here also. So let me open any command prompt or terminal or whatever you have, so you can just open it. So I'm just using the over here, and in here basically first you have to check it. Let me zoom in a little bit so that you can see clearly. So for that installation of that Aspire CLI, how you can install the Aspire CLI. So Aspire CLI, actually there is a couple of way, like there is a native way. So if you have a PowerShell over here, so you can just use this command, which is that PowerShell command over here. So this is that command, invoke expression, and this is that aspire dev.install ps1. Okay, so this is the one way actually you can just use in a PowerShell script. Now another one also, it is for window actually, that PowerShell support for window. And if you trying to use that your Linux or Mac OS system, so definitely you have to use that another command, which is this. Okay, so here you can just use curl and http whatever that aspire dev and install that as such. Using this actually you can just install. So this is a two native way, and apart from this there is another way actually, that we can use that global tools, which is .NET install. So .NET tool install, and using that global things aspire.cli, and also right now it's pre-release, so you can just mention in pre-release. So there's a three way actually you can just use it. So once you're done, right, so you can just check it what version actually it is showing over here. So right now it is available for 9.6. okay, that is perfectly working fine. And yeah, one more thing actually you have to taken care over here, make sure your .NET 9 uh, .NET 9 actually is installed in your system. So that you have to make sure, because this Aspire basically mostly that Aspire CLI support is .NET 9. okay, so you can just use it, that install that. And yeah, one more thing actually you have to take in care, like template, Aspire template. So whatever that Aspire template you have, so that you have to mention ensure that. So how you can just install that Aspire template, I already explained the couple of sessions, so you can just see. So this is the simple way you can just use the .NET command. So new install aspire.project template. So whatever that Aspire template, it will available for you over here, right? So yeah, I think you can just install, that is fine. And once you install those things, I think we can just clear these things and move it to some my directory. So now I'm moving to my directory, where actually I keep it all project over here. So here we have to start create a new project in using that Aspire. So what is that command? It is a simple command, aspire.new. So once you aspire.new, it will just asking to those template actually. So these are the template available, the .NET Aspire. So that app, this is a starter template, right? And this is a app host and service default. App host is a single app host, and service defaults and integration test cases. So these are actually template is available, right? So we will use that starting one. So this will be allow like, okay, sample template which have that backend for API, front end for Blazor, and also it have the service defaults, and also it have that app host, like, well, like whatever that individually template they are include in this one template, that is start template. Okay, so if you start from here, so I think it is good for you, so you can use it this one. So let me start for that start template. So hit enter, just select one and hit enter. Once you hit enter, now see it is asking me to that give that project name. Okay, so whatever project you want to use, so you can use it. So I'm using here an Aspire CLI, right? So because we have to create that Aspire CLI, so I'm using that Aspire CLI and hit enter. And also it is asking to that output path, so where you want to that path. Okay, so you can just mention whatever path you can just mention over here, like D drive, that project, or some other path. If you have, you can just create it over here. But if you don't want, so you can just simply hit enter. So if you hit enter, so it will automatically take in that current project, and whatever that project name I just mentioned, they are taking that no, project root file over root folder over here, right? And then again they asking to, okay, which, if you want to Redis cache, so if you want to, you can make it a yes. If you know, you can just no. So I'll just make it no as of now. And then again they asking to do you want to create a test project, so that test project, like unit test, integration test and all. So if you want, you can just create it. So as of now I'll just use it that yes. So that yes. And also there's a couple of options over here, what kind of test project you want to use, like n unit, fscin unit, xunit.net, right? So I'll use it the third one, xunit.net, and whatever version you want, so I will be using p3. And this is that package. Now see, your project got created successfully over here on this path, like project and Aspire CLI. And that you can go to that project directory, like for example here Aspire CLI. So this is my project which I just created. Go to that project and you can just simply check dir, and you are able to see all that project is available. So it just created test project, web project, and solution file, and also the service defaults, and host project, and API project, right? So these are the template which contain all these projects, so that has created. And yeah, I think before adding anything, so I just simply run this application. Okay, so for run this application, simply I can use it as if I hit enter, run. Now see, once that completed, so it just create a setting file on this particular location, and also they're providing a dashboard URL. Okay, so if you open it, just open it over here, so you're able to see this two project is opened over here. One is for backend app service and one is for front end. So if you open that front end, you're able to see that default Blazor project, and which have that weather forecast data which is coming from this API service. And also you can just check over here that logs, biologs, or just use that trace over here. So yeah, almost whatever that logs actually over here, not all, actually check that API. So yeah, see, if you call your weather forecast, so that call will happen, and it will get the data and then get populated over here. So this is that flexibility actually Aspire provide, like it's a cloud native app which can handle front end, back end, everything, database and all everything. Okay, so yeah, I think that pretty much good for this. Like we can create application directly over here using that Aspire without need any other things. Okay, so what I'll do next, I'll just close that. Okay, I'll just terminate that and simply clear that. And once I cleared, actually there is a more flexibility over here. For example, as of now just running. Okay, so let me open this project in our VS Code, so that I will show you the project structure and all. So yeah, this is that project structure over here, right? And if you go to that app host, so open as a solution over here in the VS Code, and if we just click that app host. Okay, now see, currently just add one package is over here, which is app host, right? And yeah, if you want to more packages which can help to build anything else, like for example, as I show you the demo, right? In the demo I just add a Postgres SQL database in our project. So for that, basically, we just simply add that Postgres extension over here which can run our database. But for that we have to add some packages. So those packages also Aspire CLI actually allow to or just flexibility, give that flexibility to that, add that. So what is that command? You can just simply aspire.add. So once you add that aspire.add, so if you enter, so see, it is just giving that proper those project it's just giving that project packages references. And if you want to search, because there's a many things, so if you want to search you can search it over here as well. So I just using Postgres. So yeah, so once you type in Postgres, now see, I just type it over here and it is just selected that one. And similar, if I just remove that and using SQL server, now see that SQL server also it's available over here. So whatever package you want, whatever integration you want, so you can just search it over here and you can just use it. So for example, let me use Postgres also. So yeah, just Postgres and see, enter and hit enter. Now see that Postgres packages as per Postgres just add it over here. So let me make sure like that package is added or not in our project, right? So go back to our over here and click on that Aspire host project. Now see that new package got added over here using that Aspire CLI, right? So whatever package you want to add it in your host project, right? That if you want, so you can just add it over here directly and that command. Okay. And yeah, if I just add over here, so simply what I can do to integrate this package to run our database of Postgres database, so I can go to that app host project over here. And in this app host project over here, so simply if you want to run your database, Postgres database, so simply you can write this two line of code. So one is that, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, yeah, so see, simply I am using this builder dot add progress at Postgres, right, which is providing that package extension. And also I'm just using this admin. So if you mention that admin, so I am able to use that admin so that I can run this application, this Postgres database in this web browser. And also I just mentioned the DB, so the DB name would be over here and a Postgres DB. That's it. So once I just over here, so it will run as a container, right? And make sure your docker install and run docker will be run in a local. So simply just run docker desktop over here, that's it. And once you run docker desktop, it will create a container and it will run your application. And whatever that DB you just create, you just reference your API project over here. So that I already mentioned, but as of now I don't want to go that kind of scenario. But yeah, just I want to show you look how we can easily add project add packages, and how can run, or how can run our database over here directly. So yeah, once you're done, just save it and go back to your terminal. And here again you can just simply run your Aspire project over here directly over using this aspire.run. And yeah, one more option is over here, like it's debug. So if you want to see how actually they're trying to run, build and all, so you can just mention this D, which is refer for debug, and hit enter. And see, it is just trying to debug whatever the debug information, all the debug information is available over here. So yeah, it's trying to build application. Yeah, now finally run our application over this project, this URL. Just simply open it, and once you open it, now see, it is try to run your application in the container. And also you can see that log. So here they're trying to set up, or create a container, and then it will run it in your browser. And similar, yeah, now it's good, right? And also they providing, see, this is that username, and also it will taking that password. So yeah, that is done. And also see, they providing this URL, where I can just directly open it. So I can just open. So once you open, now see that pg admin is available over here. If you expand over here, now your database also is available, and once you expand, now your database is here. Like this is that your database we just created over here. So this is the default one, but which this one we just created over here, postgres db, right? And you can just manipulate or add or db and all everything over here. So yeah, that is perfectly fine. And yeah, also you can just run other your front end and back end application as we earlier we did. Okay, so I think that's all for this Aspire CLI. I think we can easily create our application using that Aspire CLI. So yeah, that's all for this session. Thank you, have a nice day, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share.